Coach at Maine, Jordan Stevens. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning, Rob. How you doing?
I'm well. I hope you are too. Quite a performance from your team on Saturday in Lynchburg. You guys went toe to toe with Liberty, a 7-7 game into the fourth quarter before you ended up losing 28-7. But what impressed you about the way your team was able to play in that environment?
Yeah, I think our guys, came out and executed really well. Thought we, as you mentioned, hung in there and competed in a really a great college football environment, and that was good to see. We have a lot of young players that are playing for the first time, or guys that are getting more significant reps, or guys that are new to our program that are for the first time maybe playing at this level. So it was really good for us to just see us work together throughout that first half. As you said, we gave up a late score in the first end of the second quarter. A situation we want back, but there was a level of excitement, and I'm encouraged about what I saw. I know our coaches are encouraged about what they saw in terms of our effort. Just got to clean up some execution as we expect in operational things from game one to game two. But overall, just as we take a step back and look at the game, just encouraged about what we saw and want to build on that this week.
When you play those FBS games, as you said, with so many new guys on the field, at what point did you feel like your guys were beginning to believe as you go into the fourth quarter and you're looking, all right, we're right there in a tie game? Did you sense the confidence on your sideline continuing to build as the game went along?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I think there was confidence there, and I on both sides of the ball, I just liked how they came out and competed. When you look at some of the things we did on special teams, I thought we were good, but there are some inconsistencies we can get corrected this week. But just in terms of us being able to compete with an FBS program who's coming off, that's an 8-win team last year, and have had success, and for us to come out and game one, it's a good start. Certainly don't want it to be just a start. You want to build on it, want to grow from that. And we feel like we're in good shape to be able to do that this week, and I got another big challenge ahead of us this week with William and Mary.
Got a question this morning from Travis Lee. Go ahead, Travis.
Hey, Jordan. Two quick things. First of all, do you have an update on Nick Laughlin and what his status might be going forward? And then secondly, just about the game, how did you feel about sometimes in these matchups, the line of scrimmage it kind of can be a mismatch. How'd you feel you guys, rose to the challenge, or maybe didn't? Or how'd you feel about the line of scrimmage and, the play in this game and how it bodes for going forward?
Yeah, so this week with Nick, just in particular, I mean, Nick, he won't be playing this week for us. We'll reevaluate that next week, and we're hopeful from then on that he can rejoin our team. But he's doing a terrific job, just keeping himself ready to go. So yeah, just up front, I thought we handled that really well. I mean, we were able to run the football, which I was really excited about. We had some explosives in the run game. I thought our offensive line is really improved. We've returned a number of guys there. I think just technically, fundamentally, how they're playing has been, it's been exciting to see. So I'm excited about just where those guys are at. And there's still so much more out there, and we'll continue to find ways to get that out of them and get that out of what we're doing. And on the defensive line, just with what they were doing schematically, we did give up some yards in the run game, but really that was the focus of their offense. And they certainly presented some challenges with the option game, and how the ball was getting on the perimeter. So we were forced to play with some discipline right away to start the season. And when you take a step back, I think our guys did a nice job handling that. There's some things we got to clean up on our perimeters, but overall, interior defensive line, came out and competed, and I thought we're physical.
Thank you.
I just want to go back. I was going to ask you about the run game. 184 yards on the ground. Sincere Baines, 118 yards, had 77 on the one big play, but solid all day. And Rashawn Marshall, 11 carries, 76. Is this as good a rushing game as you've had since you've been there?
Yeah, still early to tell, but I'll say this: like I think it's the best group we've had in my time here in terms of like a running back room. Just some really good running backs, some natural running backs who find the hole, find their way through it. Excited about both those guys and what they can bring to our offense. Um, and both are dynamic enough to get on the third level and make a defender miss or get some tough yards as well. So just encouraged about what we've seen from them going back to the spring and in training camp. So excited about what's to come and a lot more there for them to build on.
Defensively, obviously a really good performance against a tough offense. You hold them to 7 points through the three quarters. Christian Thomas, especially with a huge day, 15 tackles and tackle for loss. What enabled you to keep their offense in check for a good chunk of the day?
Well, I think it's going back to I thought our guys played disciplined football. I thought we tackled well. I mean, I think we walked out of the game with only 5 missed tackles. And anytime I think you keep it under 10 or under 8, you give yourself a chance to play really good winning defense. So I thought we tackled really well. I've been so impressed with, just our safeties and their ability to tackle, their ability to run and cover and how tough they played. Christian, you mentioned inside. I mean, he's just got a motor and um, a tenacity to the ball. So at each level, I feel like we've made a commitment to tackling. So I want to see us continue to take that approach and continue to believe that, hey, these fundamentals, these techniques that we're working and that we're buying into and that we're seeing work on tape, we continue to refine them and get better at them. Because as you know, like if we can tackle and we can keep the ball in front of us, we'll be a good defense.
Back to Virginia this week for your conference opener against William and Mary. Obviously, a program that's had a lot of success. As you've started to prepare for them, one of the biggest challenges that the tribe presents.
I mean, just looking at them, watching them on special teams and watching their offense and their defense. I mean, just a really tough group. I think how fast they play, how hard they play on teams, and then looking at them offensively, I think we'll have to defend the run game and the pass game. Their quarterback's able to make a lot of things go with his legs, and they have receivers with size, that can win one-on-one matchups. So, we'll have to do a great job on that side of the ball, and then offensively, just really be able to get into a rhythm, which is going to be, that has its challenges versus a really stout defensive line, and a secondary that can really cover down the field. So. This will be a great opportunity for us, a great matchup. Their home opener at home, we expect a great environment for us to play in, another big challenge for our football team on the road. As you said, going to Virginia again this weekend.
A lot of coaches this morning have talked about how going from week one to week two is one of the biggest weeks as far as just cleaning things up now that you've seen your team play. What would you like to see most out of your team on Saturday?
Well, I'd like to see us, continue to be able to finish, finish out the halves. So whether that's the first half or the second half, I think that's an area we can have a level of focus that's a little bit better. And then, just being able to operate, there's obviously a lot of moving parts in the game of football on the sideline. There's a lot of moving parts operationally on both sides of the ball and special teams. Um, so you want to clean up some of those procedural issues we may have had game one, which are to be expected, and they're cut down from where they've been in years past. So I'm really just excited about seeing some growth from game one to game two, and we got a great challenge and like you said, a CAA opponent to do that
All
with.
right, all right, Jordan.